Ohio gozaimasu. Okay, so, day 4, Fear Farm 2. Uh, I'll let you go first. I'm thinking of a word, but I'll let you do your thing, and then I'm just going to say my word.
So last night's movie was a 7. Tonight's movie was a 6. I don't think it was as good.
My word was disappointed. I really... this was 2 years after the first movie, and a lot of the same cast were back, so I figured, okay, it's the same people, the same writer and director. I assume, similar vibe, but they've had 2 years to improve, plan more, whatever. It'll get better. It did not get better. I feel like everything I liked about the last one was less in this one. It didn't have that cool vibe. We had just talked about how we liked a lot of the acting, with the clown and a lot of the other people. The lines were delivered better, the acting was better. And here, we didn't get any of those good scenes. And a lot of the writing and the lines were just really dumb. A lot of the banter was just so pointless and out of place. And the dumb character was way too dumb. And I know it's a horror movie trope, but it didn't need to be here, and it just felt wrong. I don't know, a lot of the effects were really cheesy and dumb, too. The electric fence thing just didn't look good. The makeup, I know in the last movie, when they peeled the skin off the main dude there, the boyfriend, it looked really good. You could see a chunk of skin was missing.
They had the flared
and
skin
it was,
around the edges.
Glistening red. It looked fresh and raw, viscera, and, it looked really good. And in this movie, they applied the makeup at the beginning, and then they spent the whole movie like that. So they basically just painted a red rectangle on everyone.
Very cheap, very obvious.
Honestly, this movie just felt like a really rushed, phoned-in kind of parody of what the first one was.
I wouldn't say that. I think what they were going for was more of what I said in the first one. The ending felt rushed in the first one, so they wanted to flesh it out and make it keep going.
That is the one thing I'll give it. They had much more story here.
They didn't do, because the victims were already there and trying to escape, they didn't have to do that cool Halloween vibe setup to try and scare them again. They were already just in their costumes. So it was just capturing and bringing them back in. So I get that. But I did miss that Halloween vibe.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you said, the banter, a lot of the dumb decisions. There was the one girl that had the good idea to figure out, okay, it's a 100-acre corn maze, and if the compound is in the center, then that means, it's...
Yeah, 25 acres in any direction.
In any direction, so, you pick the shortest, and you go. And that was, and then she, boost me up so I can see over, and there, all of a sudden, there Herschel was.
But,
I like that.
You mentioned that, though, because, that was one of the scenes that killed me, because, even when they boosted her up, and she did, the cheerleading pose,
the cheerleading pose was stupid.
It was... They leaned too much into the camp here. I don't know who made that decision, but someone on set is you know what? If we're going to be an indie, lower-budget movie, let's just go full camp and do a horror comedy.
Right.
And there was no need for that. The first one wasn't a horror comedy. The first one just felt good, and this... I like horror comedies. I do. Child's Play is one of my favorite movies, and that has comedic crap all throughout. But this was just... I don't know. This did not do it for me at all.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Like I said, I gave it a 6 instead of a 7. There were some moments, but other than that, it was just a little bit not as good.
The first one I gave an 8. Honestly, this one, 5. I guess I didn't actively hate it in comparison to the other one I did, but if it were just a standalone movie, it'd just be fine. But because I had seen the other one first, and then went and saw this one, it's just... I don't know, it was really disappointing. Like you said, there were, I guess, a couple good scenes and a couple good decisions, but just overall, I don't know, it was too campy, the dialogue was not good. It does that thing that I hate in horror movies, where no one's capable of making a good decision. Even the girl from the first movie that came back, and she was a mute, so good job for continuity. But, even some of her decisions were kind of dumb. And then like the whole charades thing was just a really stupid scene, and just I don't know. I couldn't get behind anyone. Like I was rooting for the sister more than I was rooting for the victims.
Yeah, I didn't care for any of the victims to survive. None of them didn't care.
Yeah.
But I liked watching Herschel act. The guy that played Herschel,
Yes.
he was a great actor.
He does a good job. The sister's pretty good too.
No, I didn't like her. She overacted. She was trying to be too much of a Harley Quinn, and it didn't work for me.
Yeah.
Didn't like that the razor wire mask guy, his voice was different.
They changed his whole character. In the last one, he was mostly silent. And then, like, at the one time where he did talk, like, he had a creepier voice. And the sister was, like, the ringleader. Like, he's like, oh, I couldn't catch her. She's too fast or whatever. She's like, oh, but you're really strong. You can carry this guy back. He's like, I can. And, like, I don't know. It made her seem smarter, and it made the rest of the family dynamic, like, it made more sense the way everything worked out.
Frosty the Clown was dumber, where in the first one,
yeah,
he was a smart killer clown.
Yeah, and, like, here, it just, I don't know, it didn't work for me.
Yeah, it wasn't as good. But I think it was still well acted.
It was. It was just poorly written.
Poorly written.
The acting was fine. I don't want to take away from the actors. They all did a good enough job. They delivered the lines believably. I just didn't like that the lines were written the way they were.
I like the one lady that got electrocuted by the fence. They lingered on her for quite a while. It was still a cool shot to see.
Yeah.
That was a good part.
But, like, the conversation right before that really annoyed me. Like, there's a conversation, it's the two girls, and the one's like, oh, I can outrun the fat guy. And the other one's like, oh, well, you can't say fat anymore. And then they draw that joke out for like a minute and a half. Like, they're going back and forth. She's like, well, really, like, it's kind of like a disability or whatever she said. It was so dumb. But, like, afterward, when she did get electrocuted, my only thought was good. Because that was just so stupid.
It was just trying to give everybody lines.
Like,
that's
even
the best thing come up with.
Like, I'm not even anti-woke. It's just, in that moment, even if that's what you felt, that's not what you would say because of the whole life or death thing going on. Like, that's not, it wouldn't even cross your mind.
Right.
I don't know, it felt very dumb to me.
Yeah, it was.
And a lot of those conversations and jokes and quips just did not like it.
Oh, yeah, I'm right there with you.
So, yeah, I don't know if they're going to keep going. I mean, some of the cast is still around as far as the family, so they could. But if they do, I really hope it's more like the first movie than this one.
I still want to know why Herschel and his wife, who died, if they're such normal people, why are their children all whack-a-dude?
Yeah, see, that's the thing, too. Ugh. It was better in the first movie when you could tell they were acting. Like with the clown there. The clown thing was an act, and then even when he popped up from behind the girl and choked her out, like, he dropped the act, and you could tell, oh, he was just playing a character, and now he's just helping kill them for the family business or whatever. But here, like, even when they were in the compound, or even when they were on their own, they stayed in character. And, like with the little guy, when he's running around the barn, he's still, like, chuckling to himself and walking in that weird way and just being in character. It's like, why would they do that, though? They're not, like, this hasn't made them seem insane. Like, they're just actors playing the part of corn maze workers while also helping with the family business.
Right.
So why is he acting like this when no one's around?
Right.
Like, it was very, I don't know, plot-wise, it didn't make sense.
Yeah, I feel that.
So, yeah, I don't know. I'm just going to stop, or else I'm going to nitpick this movie forever. But definitely not as good as the first.
No.
Like, I would recommend the first one. I did. I recommended it to you, and I've watched it twice, and I still enjoy it. Second one, I don't think I would recommend. If they come out with a third and it's good, I would recommend the second one once just to get the transition, but otherwise, this can just be a one-and-done franchise. That's where I'm at. I know you liked it a little better, so I'm glad you had a better time than I did. And we'll see y'all again tomorrow for the next movie. I'd say what it is, but I've forgotten the order on my list right now, so I don't actually know. Okay, bye.